Pranams to Sri Ramakrishna, Holy Mother and Swamiji. Pranams to revered President Maharaj Ji. Pranams to revered Vice President Maharaj Ji, Swami Suhitananda Ji and Swami Bhajanananda Ji. Pranams to revered Gautamananda Ji and revered Girishananda Ji, who could not be present in person but have very kindly sent their messages. Pranams to revered General Secretary Maharaj and other senior monks. Loving namaskars to junior monks and brahmacharis. Brahmacharis are saying from the adjacent hall on large scale. And warm welcome and best wishes to our young friends for whom this conference is being held. As you know, this convention is being held as part of our very many programs that we have been conducting since 1st May 2022 to commemorate the 125th anniversary of the mission. This youth conference will be followed by another All India convention with the representatives of some 1,000 ashramos which follow our ideals but not affiliated with us on 29th and 30th December 2023. With these two conventions, we will draw curtain on our 21-month-long commemoration of 125th anniversary of Ramakrishna mission. All of our young friends may not know that ours is a twin organization, Ramakrishna Math and Ramakrishna Mission. Together we call them as Ramakrishna Order. There is a more general and perhaps a more significant expression also, the Ramakrishna movement, which is used specially to mean the great ongoing influence of Thakur Ma Swamiji and the ideals and activities of Ramakrishna Math and Ramakrishna Mission. Ramakrishna movement originates from Sri Ramakrishna, and because it originated from him, this movement has ever been a movement of the youth since its inception. He plunged into his sadhanas in 1856 when he was a young man of 20. He being born in the year 1836. His entire youth he devoted to sadhanas, which ended 16 years after, in 1872, when he worshipped his wife Sharoda Devi as the Divine Mother Shoroshi. He was then 36 years old. Such intense and varied sadhanas stand unparalleled in the history of mankind. The tremendous spiritual energy which was thus released from Sri Ramakrishna, which was behind Vivekananda's phenomenal achievements in the West and in India, and which is still working through this Ramakrishna order or Ramakrishna movement, can be viewed as an instance of youth power at its best, as Sri Ramakrishna did all his sadhanas during the prime of his youth. Immediately after his all sadhanas were over, he had several revelations about his future mission in this world. One of these revelations was this: being an instrument in the hands of the Divine Mother, he would have to establish a new kind of religious order which would hold and propagate the liberal ideas experienced in his life. He also came to know that competent persons would come to him, making whom the bases and pillars he would build the order. After this, he would eagerly wait every day from sunrise to sundown for his would-be disciples to come, and when nobody would come, he would go to the rooftop and cried out aloud, "Where are you all? Please come. I cannot bear to live without you." Thakur actually said in Bengali, "Ore tora ke kothay achish aay, ami je toder na dekhe thakte parchi na." In Bengali, tui or tora are used only to address the junior ones. And he was then 36. So we can say that this call was meant for the youth. We come across books like Swamiji's Call to the Nation, Call to the Youth. But actually, Thakur called the youth first. "Where you are all, come, I cannot bear to live without you." We believe this call is still working on the youth, making the young men and women embrace the life of renunciates or dedicating themselves to the cause of Thakur. When Thakur got the mandate from the Divine Mother to establish the order or Sangha, he was 36, and Swamiji was only 9 years old. Thakur had to wait 10 years more for Narendra to come. Meanwhile, Thakur started preaching in Kolkata, especially among the Brahmos. From these Brahmos, directly or indirectly, Narendra and Thakur's other youth disciples of future came to know of Thakur. Narendranath came to Thakur in 1882, and 15 other persons came a little earlier or later. So they became 16 in number, of whom except one, all were young. Loving them like a mother and giving them spiritual instructions like a father. This expression was used by Girish Chandra Ghosh about Thakur. Thakur started to bind them into a Sangha since the Dakshineshwar days itself. So, be it Ramakrishna Math or Ramakrishna Mission, Thakur was their actual founder. And Swamiji, with his Western experience, gave a concrete structure shape to it by forming Ramakrishna Mission first and then Ramakrishna Math a few years later. Thakur used to say, I love young people because they are not yet tainted by the impurities and crookedness of the world. Only the young unmarried males can join our order to become a monk. He must not be older than 28 years if he is graduate, and he must not be older than 30 years if he is a postgraduate. There is a parallel mode for the Sannasinis or women renunciates also, which was conceived by none other than Swami Vivekananda and was established by Ramakrishna Mission about 50 years after Swamiji's demise. They have the same ideals as ours, but legally, administratively, financially, and in other respects, they are totally separate from us. Theirs also is a twin organization, Sri Sharoda Math and Ramakrishna Sharoda Mission. And many educated young women join the women's Math to lead a life of Sannasinis. Now, what was Swamiji's message, and particularly for the youth? Swamiji's all messages were for all, but he wanted particularly the youth to implement them for themselves as well as for others. Someone once asked Swamiji, what is the aim of your life? Swamiji said, my aim is to preach unto mankind their inherent divinity and show them how to manifest that divinity at every step of life. Now, what is divinity? Swamiji says, everything that is strong and good and powerful in human nature is the outcome of that divinity. So divinity is a state of unlimited goodness, unlimited positive qualities. Suppose I love you, but that is not an unlimited love because I see I cannot love you at any cost. Unlimited love is, I will love you in all conditions. Even if you kill me, I won't help loving you. And the same love I will have for all. One of Swamiji's American disciples, Miss MacLeod, said, what seemed most striking in Swamiji was his unlimitedness. Unlimited in love, unlimited in patience, unlimited in forgiveness. Because Swamiji could awaken his divinity in full, he became unlimited. Swamiji says, each soul is potentially divine. He cites the example of a banyan tree and its seed. Compared to the big banyan tree, the seed is tiny. But in that tiny seed, the big banyan tree is hiding. That seed is potential banyan tree. Similarly, in our small frame of existence, full divinity exists in a seed form, potential form, which we'll have to arouse from the sleeping state to fully awakened state. How? Every good thought and action awakens the divinity a little, and every bad thought and bad action sends the divinity to a deeper sleep. So we have to be very careful about both our thoughts and actions. Our thoughts and actions must be pure and good. Then divinity will be awakened. That is why Swamiji said, be good and do good. That is the whole of religion. Then, not I am only divine, everybody is divine. And in that divine identity, I am one with all. So divine oneness is the only truth of life and universe. Whoever suffers in whatever region of the world, that is actually me suffering. And whoever is happy anywhere, that is actually my happiness. Swamiji uses the term Vedantic morality. Everything that makes for oneness is moral. Everything that makes for division is immoral. Love is moral. Love is Vedanta because love unifies. Hatred is immoral because hatred divides. So, whatever field of life we are in, this Vedantic morality should be our guiding light. Can I love others? Do I think and act in favor of oneness? Then I am on the right path. Then my divinity is getting awakened. In day-to-day life, each one of us experiences two existences. One is my own existence, and the other is the existence of the external world. By external world is meant everyone other than me, from my parents and family members to my neighbor, state, country, and the whole world. I have to handle both myself as well as the world. Our program in this convention have been so arranged that you will learn both how to deal with yourself and how to deal with the world as well. Ramakrishna Mission's first president was Swami Brahmananda, not Vivekananda. Swami Brahmananda was junior to Swamiji only by 9 days. Swamiji made him president, and till 20 years after Swamiji's passing away, he was in that post, till his own passing away. Swamiji said about him at different times, one cannot fathom his spirituality. In spirituality, he is higher than me. Swami Brahmananda used to say to new sadhus, meditate, 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 and serve his creatures. There is a wonderful book on him with the name, The Eternal Companion, The Life and Teachings of Swami Brahmananda. Einstein read this book, and in course of an informal discussion with Swami Nikhilanandaji, he remarked, Maharaj, that is Swami Brahmananda was right. Meditation is important. We know what goes on in the external world, but we do not know what goes on here. He said that, pointing to his heart. Swamiji wanted to fill the minds and brains of young people with strong positive ideas. A famous person has said, an idea is more powerful than all armies. In the coming sessions of these 2 days, you will have a feast of positive, invigorative, practical ideas. You will surely listen to them attentively, think over them, and resolve to implement them as you go back to your respective places. And the tools to implement them is to be what Swami Brahmanandaji said, and Swami Ranganathananji also said in the similar vein, to meditate and serve, to be good and to do good to others. Thank you.